in pre this year, in 2015, almost 30 questions were from geography. Okay, and in mains GS1, normally 7 questions are asked from geography. Obviously, we are not doing preparation for mains, so we won't be discussing this aspect. But 30 questions plus, as you all know, that we'll be. Somebody saying something? सिंगर समझा हुआ है okay plus we'll be doing environment here, and from environment 14 questions were there in pre 2015. So in 16 lectures we'll be preparing for almost 30 questions in pre. Okay, so you know that how important this lectures would be, first of all. Okay, now the plan of lectures would be that I'll be trying to complete geography in 10 lectures, and 6 lectures would be for biodiversity, ecology, and environment. Okay, today we'll be doing oceanography. The next lecture will be of related to climate, and then India physical would be there. And remember, we'll be doing everything from the perspective of pre, so that you'll be able to attempt questions from pre. Okay, we are not here to become geographers, we are not here to become geologists. What we are here for is for clearing pre. So perspective is very important, your focus is very important. Okay, so now let us start from the basic of how many oceans are there in the world. अच्छा, सब तो पहले तुझे डरना डरना कुछ नहीं है. Okay, even if you are making, if somebody is making fun of you, at least तुझे कि at this point of time you can afford that. Okay, come 7th August you cannot afford to miss anything, to do wrong. Okay, so the best thing is तुझे हजे whatever is unclear, तुझे whatever you do not know, ask it. Okay, even if somebody is laughing at you, man, minded nobody would laugh. Okay, कोई चक्कर नहीं है तुझे. Okay, so how many oceans? Which one? And that's it. Good. Huh? Yes. Southern Ocean is there also, but in NCRT only 4 are given. Okay. When in doubt, follow NCRTs. Okay. And which one is the largest ocean? Second largest? Third largest? So if a question comes to you that which is the 4th largest ocean of the world, then you know what is the answer. Okay. Now what we'll be doing in oceanography is first landforms of oceans, then temperature, salinity. We'll do waves, tides, and currents, ocean currents, and that's it. This will be covering under oceanography. Okay. Somebody sitting there? देख लो कालीन बिछाने पैने नहीं अच्छा how much of earth area who said 71%? अच्छा na I was asking this only. Okay, how much earth area does or do oceans cover? How much? 71%. And how much percentage of water do oceans have? 97%. What is the second largest water source? No, not underground water. Ice caps and glaciers. Remember this question? This question came in, I think, 2010. So, acha, write down. You have to write down this. Okay, first one is oceans. They cover 97.25% of water. Okay, second one is ice caps and glaciers. 2%. Third is groundwater. 0.68%. 0.68%. After that, lakes. Lakes have 0.01% of water. Do you know what is the difference between bay, gulf, strait? What is bay? Okay. Okay. Anybody wants to add something? Or is it enough? Okay, so water body covered from three sides by land, but the mouth is wide open. Okay, this is called bay. What is a gulf? Narrow mouth, that's it? In between? Please भी हाथ खड़ा कर. I cannot recognize who is speaking. Please हाथ खड़ा करके बोलियो करो. Please request है. Narrow what? Narrow. Okay, narrow than bay. Okay. अच्छा, we have to make room. Please दस दो जे किसी को सीट खाली है. संगत. Okay. What is gulf? Gulf is same as bay, but it has narrow mouth. Okay. Gulf is same as bay. It means that there is an opening from which water enters landmass, but this mouth is narrower than bay. This is difference between bay and a gulf. Okay. What is a strait? Joining to big land masses. Yes, that's an exact definition. It means that strait is that narrow strait of water which joins to big ocean or water bodies. For example, where is Malacca Strait? Yes, yes. On right side of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. What is isthmus? Isthmus is opposite of strait. It means that a land is joining land is in between two large water bodies. Okay. For example, there is Panama Isthmus. Achha, everybody has atlas. Isthmus is a narrow stretch of land joining two big land masses or in between two large water bodies. Okay. Achha, if somebody does not have atlas, please buy it. In last year paper in 2015 pre, various questions were totally based on map. Where is Golan Heights? Okay, which is the easternmost state in India? For that you need atlas, and for that you need inquisitiveness as well. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ wherever whenever you come across a area which you do not know, consult map. Okay, say Armenia आ गया, ठीक है, you are seeing atlas, where is Armenia, whether it is in Europe or whether it is in Asia. You can remember Middle East is always in contention. Middle East, and the map of Middle East, you know, is crowded and ever changing. Okay, so you need to consult atlas for that. Now let us move on to the landforms of oceans. Yeah? Okay. Her question is that a gulf is always followed by strait. Is it true or wrong? Not necessarily. Okay, there might be the case that this is not a narrow stretch of land. Say this one. This is not narrow stretch, huge land. Okay, write down relief of ocean floor. Relief of ocean floor is mainly due to tectonic, volcanic, and depositional processes. Do you know what is tectonics? Okay. Anybody who does not know this? Okay. Anybody else? We'll be doing tectonics later on, but still, I think you should have an idea of it. Basically, what tectonics say is that Earth crust is divided into different plates, which are continuously moving towards them, okay, against them, or in this direction. Okay, so Earth consists of Earth crust, which is constantly floating over asthenosphere. Okay, we'll be doing it afterwards. Ajay, tusi sirf just get an idea what is tectonics. Okay, volcanic you know, and depositional features are. It means, look, if this is an ocean, then various rivers are coming into it, depositing their sediments, silt, okay, whatever they contain here. Same way, say this is an ocean, and some ship has, say this is an oil slick, oil spillage. That spill also comes on the coast. Okay, some marine animals who are dead, they also float on the coast. So these are basically they come under depositional features. Okay. Now I think Nobody from us would have any doubt that say this is land and this is ocean. Straightway ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ? There is a deep ditch here. Nobody is of that opinion, no? है ना? ਕੀ ਹੈ? This is what? This is what? This is what? Trench and ocean floor. Okay? मैं रिपीट कर रहा मैंने प्लीज ये दस दियो जिन्हों नहीं पता ना वो नाल अपना क्वेश्चन पूछी जावे ठीक है we can go in the slow play pace as well if you want okay first what is there is a continental shelf what is a continental shelf it is an extension of continental landmass okay then there is a slope is where this is in between say this is an ocean floor slope is where there is a gradient of greater than 2 degree to 5 degree joining continental shelf and ocean floor. And then there are trenches. Trenches are nothing but deep pockets on the ocean floor. Okay, why I have made ocean trenches near to continental shelf? Why not here in between continental ocean floor? Sorry. Yes. Basically, here again tectonics is playing its part. What happens is, say this is a continental landmass. Okay, so continental landmass will have a continental tectonic plate. Okay, and this is oceanic. This is ocean floor. So it means it is called as oceanic plate. When oceanic plate and continental plate combine, subduction happens. Achha, this is outside the purview of oceanography. So even if you're not understanding, take it easy. So we'll be doing the same thing again. Okay? Because I have seen that in first lectures, बहुत बंदे complain करते हैं कि something is going above their head. Okay, the teacher is going very fast. तो ठीक है, hold on, take a chill pill. ਆਪਾਂ दोबारे करांगे. Okay? So please, जिन्होंने नहीं समझ आया ना, you can still ask me. I can repeat it. ठीक है, not 100 times, 2 times बस. ठीक है, की है थे? So this is an oceanic plate and this is continental plate, and we are considering that this is convergent plate boundary. So both are colliding. That's why this trench is made. Okay, and this is the reason why earthquakes are formed. This is the reason why volcanoes are formed. Volcanoes divergent plate boundaries होते हैं. So a question आ सकता थानू. Okay, volcano is formed by A, divergent plate boundaries, B, convergent plate boundaries, C, both, D, none. की आंसर है? ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖੋ ਕੰਟੀਨੈਂਟਲ ਸ਼ੈਲਫ ਬਾਰੇ. What is a continental shelf? ਹਾਂਜੀ divergent plate boundary. Say this is mid-Atlantic ridge. Okay, mid-Atlantic ridge is, I am assuming you know that, है ना? मैंने पता you know that. So mid-Atlantic ridge is what? Divergent plate boundary or convergent plate boundary? Divergent plate boundary. When two plates diverge, it means the inside lava would come out. That is a volcano. Isn't it? Whenever earth crust is formed, is it formed by volcano or is it formed by earthquake? Volcano. Why? Because earth crust basically rocks ki ne. What is a primary rock form? Igneous rock. What is igneous rock basically? Lava. Okay. Then say this one. Sorry, what are you saying? What planes? Okay, yes, they come here. Okay, write down about continental shelf. It is an extended margin. It is an extended margin of continent plate. It is an extended margin of continent plate occupied by relatively shallow sea. Occupied by relatively shallow sea. Average gradient is slope. Okay, average gradient is 1 degree. Average gradient is slope is 1 degree. Average gradient is 1 degree. Average width varies. Average width varies. Continental shelf is absent along west coast of Chile. Chile country, or is it child? Okay, ये हो गया. ठीक है. Why it is absent along west coast of Chile? Continental shelf. Why it is absent along west coast of Chile? Yes. What is the reason? That plates along the west coast of Chile are convergent. अच्छा, please है ना दसो if you have room. कितने? So why this on western? This is Chile. Say this is South America. These plate, oceanic plate, and what is this? South Pacific plate. South Pacific plate and this South American continental plate are convergent. Okay, that's why there is no continental shelf. But on the other hand, what I was saying is that, say this is North America, okay, and this is Chile. This is South. I said North America. Sorry. Okay, this is South America. Okay, this is Chile. This is South Pacific Ocean. Okay, and this is oceanic plate, and this is South American continental plate. Both of these plates are forming convergent plate boundaries. That's why, because it is forming convergent plate boundaries. अच्छा, मैंने कल दसो which has more density, oceanic plate or continental plate? अच्छा, जिन्होंने नहीं पता वो भी देख लो. Oceanic plate has more density than continental plate. So, if these plates are converging, which plate would be subducting? Why? देखो, हुन ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ठीक है, this is hard rock, this is soft rock. Okay, we are not talking about genres of music. This is hard rock, means stone. Okay, and this is soft rock. Okay, what we are getting here is that this hard rock would be subducting, and eventually this will happen. Okay, because hard rock won't be broken. Okay, this thing will be broken, but let us assume that AV theek hai. So what will happen is that hard rock will get subducted under soft rock. So that is why, that is how volcanoes are formed. Because when hard rock is getting subducted, some part of soft rock here is continental plate, is getting melted by the heat produced by this process. Melting of rock is lava, and this is where volcanoes are formed. Okay, so what we have here is that continental shelf is absent in western South America. And good. Volcanoes for what? Continental shelves. Yes, yes, yes. Subduction is what? When two different density plates are converging. Okay, if they are diverging, then obviously there is no subduction. North America च की है. North America, yes, converging. Yes, yes, that is also converging. Okay, what whatsoever ਆਪਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਚ. ਓਕੇ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਓਸ਼ੀਆਨੋਗ੍ਰਾਫੀ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦਿਓ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਜੇ ਕੰਟੀਨੈਂਟਲ ਸ਼ੈਲਫ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋ. Okay, okay, write about continental shelf. It is shallow. It is shallow, so it means that sunlight is in abundance. It is shallow. That means sunlight is in abundance. So continental shelf are best fishing grounds of the world. Okay, say this is continental shelf. Sunlight would be there, so it means some vegetation would be there. Vegetation would be there. Planktons would be there. So that's why they are continental shelf are best fishing grounds of the world. Maybe I missed, but did I tell you that Siberian plate? वो तो हो गया. हाँ, साइबेरियन प्लेट. लुक, अच्छा ये मैं भूल गया, सॉरी. साइबेरियन प्लेट की है. वेयर इज साइबेरिया? Eastern Russia. Okay, Eastern Russia has continental shelf of 1500 kilometers. It means that, say, if this is eastern part of Russia, this is Bering Strait. Okay, and this is North Pacific. Please where is Bering Strait? Okay, and this is North Pacific, but the continental shelf of this eastern region of Russia extends up to 1500 kilometers. Yes, largest continental shelf is of Siberian continental shelf. Okay, so what is the next important point regarding continental shelf? Because in continental shelf, various rivers are depositing their sediments. Okay, animals are coming in, so continental shelf are rich source of fossil fuel. Okay, hydrocarbons. We find hydrocarbons on continental shelf. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ questions ਕੀ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ? Continental shelf say has, first point, best fishing ground of the world. Okay, second one, are rich in hydrocarbons. results in upwelling of cold water. Four is all of the above. What is the answer? What is upwelling? देखो upwelling ते downwelling are various these are very important concepts ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ. Here what is the reason of upwelling? Sorry, this is a continental shelf. Okay, what happens is that this is a water. थोड़ा होर concept लगना अपना. Okay, पहले मैंने आया दसो where does downwelling and upwelling happens? Say this is earth, this is equator, these are poles. Normally what we see is that downwelling happens at poles and upwelling at equator. Why does it happen? Due to what? Insulation. अच्छा लुको प्लीज प्लीज देखो ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ocean water is saline water, so it has salt. What we see is that apna whenever there is say snow in polar regions, maybe in northern Europe, maybe in Canada, what we see is that to get rid of snow, what we do is spray salt. So what does salt do? Does it, yes, it decreases freezing point. समझ आ रहा है? और increase freezing point. Freezing point of water. जे किसी ने नहीं समझ आ रहा है ना, प्लीज दसो. देखो, freezing point of water is 0 degree centigrade. Okay, salt is added. Then salt would increase its freezing point. Does water now freezes at 2 degree or now water start freezing at 2 degree centigrade? So it decreases the freezing point. Okay, आप साइंस से भी पढ़ सकते हैं क्यों है लैटिस स्ट्रक्चर की है outside the purview. Okay, so ਜਦੋਂ भी saline water is there, it means that freezing point of water is reduced. Okay, now what happen is that water when it freezes, it means that it is higher, it has higher density than normal water. So here, if temperature, freezing temperature of water is reduced, water is able to carry more, say more particle of ice or water. There are ice or lattice structure है ना basically. What is heavier, water or ice? Heavier. Water. पता है सबनू water ही है ना. Okay, so what happens is that when water freezes or water is about to freeze, now water the temperature is at -2 degree centigrade. The water from 0 degree to 2 degree would have certain ice crystals. Water would be denser or less dense? Denser. Okay, water will be dense. It means that एक ही होता है नीचे चले जाता है. This is downwelling. Okay, and normally what this condition exists at equator or this conditions exist at poles? Poles. This is the reason why downwelling happens at poles. The reason is salinity of water. Okay, the ability of salt to decrease the freezing point of water. So question comes to you that downwelling happens because of temperature difference, because of density, because of this. The main reason is this. Okay, everybody is with me? ठीक है? हाथ 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 कुछ ही थोड़ा Yes. Yes, it does. It does. Yes. ਪਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਦੇਖੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੈਲਿਨਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਪਊਗਾ ਸੇ ਵਾਟਰ ਇਜ਼ at 35 ppt ppt is unit of salinity parts per thousand ਕਿੰਨਾ ਫਰਕ ਪੈ ਜਾਊਗਾ 32 ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਓਕੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਲਿਖੋ continental slope it connects continental shelf and ocean basins. It connects continental shelf and oceans basins. Depth of slope is 200 meter to 3000 meters. Depth of slope is 200 meter to 3000 meters. Gradient of slope varies between varies between 2 to 5 degrees. Write down the next one, the next landform. It is ocean deeps or trenches. Ocean deeps or trenches. TRENCHES, trenches. It is deepest part of ocean which is associated with active volcanoes and strong earthquakes. Okay, the fourth landform is deep sea plain. Deep sea plain. This lies at depth of 3000 to 6000 meters. 3000 to 6000 meters. And it is flattest and smoothest part of the earth. Flattest and smoothest part of earth. Okay, these are major landforms. Then we come to minor landforms. What are minor ocean relief of ocean floor basically? Okay, write down the first one. First one is mid-oceanic ridges. Mid-oceanic ridges. Two chains of mountains are separated by large depression. And these mountains can come up at the surface of ocean. And these two mountain ranges or mountains can come up at the surface of ocean. For example, Iceland is mid-oceanic ridge. Okay, the island of Iceland, ISS. Island. Yes, Iceland. Okay, so Iceland is example of this. Okay, so mid-oceanic ridge can form an island. Okay, when they come up the surface of ocean, and Iceland is example of this. Okay. Next one is sea mount. Sea mount. MOUNT. Sea mount. These are mountains with pointed summits, like this. Okay. These are mountains with pointed summits. Summit is this highest point of mountain. Okay. Rising from the sea floor. Rising from the sea floor, but they do not reach surface of ocean. But they do not reach surface of the ocean. These are volcanic in origin. These are volcanic in origin. Volcanic in origin. Submerged. Yes, they are submerged. They do not come at the surface of ocean. They are submerged ocean form. Sorry, मैंने नहीं पता लगे कौन बोल रहा है. No, they do not come at the surface of ocean. They are submerged. Mid-oceanic ridge, they are at the surface of ocean. They can come at the surface of ocean. Seamount does not. Say seamount is this. Okay, mid-oceanic ridge can be this as well. So when the landform is sort of plain, we have an island, Iceland example. Okay. नहीं लावा तो इथों निकलूगा ना. नहीं mid oceanic ridge is total landform this. Asia. Okay. अच्छा पहले पिछला करिए. मैं एक मिनट हो लभ रहा सी जे तो बाहरले बंदा अंदर आ सकदा ना. ਇਹ ਕਰ ਦੋ ਜੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ. ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਬਾਹਰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਪਾਇਓ. ਰਵੀ ਜਾਂ ਰਾਜੂ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਇਓ. Sorry. Okay. First of all, why we are comparing ice with water in downwelling? Downwelling does not have ice. Downwelling has two different sort of water. One water is denser than other water. So ice is not there. Yes. No, ice no. हाँ जी होगी. प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होगी. ओके. ये भी चलाना कि नहीं. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੇੜੋ ਨਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਲਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਇੱਧਰ. अच्छा, next, third minor form is gyots. Guyots. Gyot. Guyots. These are flat. These are flat topped sea mounts. These are flat topped sea mounts. It means a sea mount was what? A pointed summit that had a pointed summit. Now, if this summit is like this, it is called guyot. Okay. Okay, look, sea mounts close to ocean, sea mount close to surface of ocean. Sorry, close to surface of ocean suffer erosion due to suffer erosion due to waves, suffer erosion due to waves, and then sea mounts become gyots. Okay, so when they are near the surface of the ocean, the action of waves erodes some part of summit, and when that some part of summit get erodes, flat topped gyots are formed. Trenches ke baad, no, that is not a condition. Look, what she is saying is that this is a trench. Baad means what? This side, say if this is land, this side or this side? This side? No, that is not the case. Okay, trenches are normally found near to continental shelf, but that is not true everywhere. Okay, some trenches are found right in between of oceans as well. Normally, what we see is that deepest trenches are found close to continental shelf, but say this sort of trench can be found in middle of the ocean. So that is not. The next one is submerged canyons. Canyons. Submerged canyons. Due to tidal action, a canyon is what? This one. Okay? Say this is a slope when it is this one eroded staircase wise or step wise, it is called canyon. Say this is a slope when it is eroded in this manner, okay, a canyon is formed. So due to tidal action, a continental shelf, due to tidal action, continental shelf is eroded in stepwise manner. Continental slope, slope, continental slope. Continental slope is eroded in stepwise manner, and canyon submerged canyons are formed. Submerged canyons are formed. Okay, the fifth and the last form is atolls. 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 These are low islands. These are low islands found in tropical waters. Found in tropical waters and are made of coral reefs. And are made of coral, CORAL, coral reefs. REEFS. Achha, who doesn't know what is a tropical area? Everybody knows what is a tropical area, what is temperate area? Huh? Okay. So now we move on to temperature of ocean. Next topic is temperature of ocean. अच्छा हम ਆਪਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਕਾਮਨ ਸੈਂਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ this is equator this is tropic of this is okay now maximum insolation what is this is basically what incoming solar energy maximum this insolation is received by equator तो बीच ना बड़े हो भी डिपेंड्स ऑन डेज है ना apparent ITCZ movements हजे आप सिंपल रखिए okay so maximum temperature is at equator so it means the maximum temperature of ocean water would be around here or here equator okay first thing so temperature of water depends on insolation one thing okay now another thing is ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ factors on which temperature of ocean water depends or water depends okay first is latitude everybody knows what is latitude okay these divisions are latitude so equator is a latitude okay at 0 degree tropic of cancer is a latitude at 23.5 degree north okay so these are latitude first of all temperature of water depends on latitude okay first thing ਇਹਦਾ असली रीजन ਕੀ ਹੈ due to this one due to insolation bracket ਚ please ਲਿਖ ਲਓ due to insolation okay there is drop of ਇਹਦੇ point ਚ ਲਿਖੋ there is drop of 0.5 degree centigrade there is drop of 0.5 degree centigrade per latitude so if at equator we have 20 degree centigrade temperature and here say equator is a 0 degree here it is 10 degree north how much temperature of ocean water would be here 15 degree centigrade because 0.5 degree of temperature is getting reduced by every latitude if you pass from this to this latitude then 0.5 degree drop of temperature would be there okay first thing second thing likho the second factor which influences temperature of water is unequal distribution of land and water unequal distribution of land and water look apanu this thing we know that temperature or weather at Mumbai is it continental type of climate or is it marine or sea sort of climate what is qualities of say weather of Mumbai this is Mumbai and this is the place where we are sitting okay so we know that places which are near to sea have very moderate sort of temperature okay and in northern hemisphere what we see is that the quantity of land mass is more than southern hemisphere okay so the effect of land and ocean would be visible more in northern hemisphere ठीक है हुन मेनू ए दसो reason why is that the places near the ocean have moderate climate land and sea okay first option I have given land and sea breeze how many of you think this is the right option जी अच्छा ये बड़ी सियाने हो गई सॉरी की कह रहे सर लैंड इज आज के भाई तो क्लियर है अच्छा ते okay, second, say specific heat of water is greater than specific heat of land. Third option is that prevailing wind system, because ocean, the winds which are over the ocean have more, say, moistness or humidity, or they have more water carrying capacity, or they have ability to cause rainfall. That's why the places near the ocean have moderate temperature. Next is none of the above. जी केड़ा सूरमा सीगा जी all of the above. Second and third leads to one. How come? Diurnal variation. What is that? हाँ जी हाँ जी, मतलब ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜੇ this is land, okay, here in day temperature is at 30 degrees centigrade, so it can reduce to 15 degrees centigrade at night. This is what you're saying? Okay, loss of heat आ गया है ना, ਤੁਸੀਂ loss of heat ਤੇ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ मैं ना कही जाऊं सारा कुछ लाई जाऊं देखो ओके अब थोड़ा छेती करिए स्पेसिफिक हीट इज द रीजन स्पेसिफिक हीट व्हाट इज स्पेसिफिक हीट 111 एक बंदा जिन्हों पता है ओके गॉट इट ठीक है सबने पता लग गया स्पेसिफिक हीट दिस इज द रीजन भुल के भी कुछ होर ना कर दियो यूपीएससी आजकल ये जे क्वेश्चन पूछन लग गई रियल रीजन दे पिछली बार उन्होंने पूछे है सारे ठीक है ओशियानोग्राफी च दो क्वेश्चंस आए ने one question they have asked about the real concept. What is the concept? The concept of continentality and moderate climate is based on specific heat. ठीक है? So specific heat is the reason. दूजे दा दूजा point इत्थे. Okay. Third लिखो. No. Real reason is this. That is a corollary. That is an inference. Real reason. One reason. हाँ. Both option. Yes. Then both are correct. Yes. Inference केड़ा जेड़ा in options inference is only right when say the main part is given and then inference is 2, then you can write 1 and 2. Okay, but the main reason shouldn't be missed. Main reason is specific heat. Okay, the next point is the third factor which influence ocean temperature is prevailing winds. देखो prevailing winds. How do prevailing winds influence the temperature? Simple reason, देखो. Say this is land and this is ocean. Okay, now we know the water here would be warmer than the water here. Okay, because it is in contact with land. Now prevailing wind system, if it is away from land, would take this warm water here. So temperature of water would be influenced. Okay, temperature of water would be influenced longitudinal wise. Okay, एक गल याद रखियो, UPSC has very this horrible effort of asking you latitude wise, longitudinal wise. What according to you is longitudinal wise? This way or this way? Longitudinal wise. This one? चलो ठीक है? Please cram it. Longitudinal wise is this way. Latitudinal wise is this way. Okay? Fourth point is ocean currents. Fourth point is ocean currents. That is currents. Prevailing winds की है ना, we'll do, I think you know that, if you know it, we have these divisions of winds. So a wind from polar system की है वो इतने आगे खत्म होगी, ठीक है. This is equator. We have northeast trade winds here, easterlies, westerlies here, and this wind system जेड़ा इतने ले रहा रो pressure ते prevailing winds ਦਾ sir. हाँ yes वो हो सकता है, yes. ठीक है. फोर्थ इज ओशियन करंट्स. ओशियन करंट्स विल डू इन डिटेल आफ्टरवर्ड्स, ठीक है. हॉट करंट, कोल्ड करंट की होती है, ठीक है. अच्छा, नाउ अनदर क्वेश्चन. अच्छा, देयर इज एन इनक्लोज्ड, से इनक्लोज्ड वाटर बॉडी नियर, say this is equator and this is tropic of Cancer. Okay, there is an enclosed water body here, then there is enclosed water body at say 60 degree north. अच्छा, मैंने प्लीज समझ आ रहे हैं ना सारा, 60 डिग्री नॉर्थ एंड 30 डिग्री, ठीक है. आई एम अज्यूमिंग यू नो समथिंग, प्लीज टेल मी इफ यू डू नॉट, प्लीज. गुड, ठीक है. if there is an enclosed water body at tropic of Cancer and there is an enclosed water body at say 60 degree north, ਇਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ temperature ਹੈ, would it be higher than say ocean here? If there is an ocean here and this is an enclosed water body, and say this is an ocean and this is an enclosed water body at 60 degree north, whether their temperature would be same, more, less, depends on latitude. Okay, so you are saying the temperature would be same? Would be more in case of both of them? Okay, नहीं ठीक ठीक. What she is saying is that temperature of enclosed water body at tropic of Cancer and temperature of enclosed water body at 60 degree north would be more. ओशन, हाँ यस यस, अंडरस्टूड. ठीक है. नो क्यों, फिर दसो कोई. देखो ये जो ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ क्वेश्चन आने हैं, प्लीज है ना, थोड़ा अपना माइंड वो करो, क्वेश्चन आने हैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ. यस यस. Okay. Okay, so what he's saying is ideally that he has selected this option. It depends on latitude. चलो और दसो, और किसी को कोई और याद करो, मोरा लेस वाला भी आ जाए कोई. Okay, my question is temperature of enclosed water body comparable to this water, not this water. मेरी गल नहीं समझे, मैं की कह रहे हैं, enclosed water body temperature is not compared with this. This temperature is compared with this. So I know, everybody knows the temperature of this water body would be more than this. What is fun of asking you then? Huh? Okay, हाँ ਹੁਣ ठीक है ना, ठीक है. ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੇਮ ਹੈ. ਉਹ ਦੱਸੋ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ depends on latitude, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ more ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ same ਹੈ, less. सो जे एक क्वेश्चन आ गया, तुसी देखो, enclosed landform, enclosed, sorry, this water body at tropic of Cancer, because here this is land, it is enclosed by land, so the effect of land would be there, and land here is at higher temperature obviously than ocean, so this water this water body temperature would be higher than the subsequent latitude ocean. Same way, here land would be at reduced at lower temperature. Effect of land would be there. Temperature of enclosed body would be lower than subsequent latitude ocean temperature. Got it? Okay? So this is an exception, and UPSC has a habit of asking you exceptions. So cram it, otherwise understand it. Okay? Okay, now we were talking about this one, horizontal distribution. What about vertical distribution? Say vertical distribution, you are at 0 meter, 5,000 meter. Means to see 5 kilometer down chale gaye. Does water or does temperature of water changes, remains the same, reduced, increase, decreases? Okay. But does it decreases like this, or there is proper layering where temperature say more or less remains the same, it falls abruptly, then it again remains the same? This is the case. Okay, then write it down. ओपन बॉडी च तो सीधा आंसर ही आ गया ना, वो तो फिर पता ही है अभी लैटिट्यूड वाइज डिफरेंस है. लैटिट्यूड हाँ, टेम्परेचर ऑफ से ओशियन एट 60 डिग्री नॉर्थ वुड बी लोअर, हायर, लोअर देन ओशियन टेम्परेचर एट ट्रॉपिकल. ओके, राइट इट डाउन. देयर आर थ्री लेयर्स. फर्स्ट लेयर लिखो. First layer is 0 to 500 meters. 0 to 500 meters. 0 to 500 meters, where temperature remains the same. Okay. Depth wise. Vertical distribution. Okay, this is first layer. Second layer, from 500 meter to 1000 meters. From 500 to 1000 meters. This layer is called as thermocline. THERMO, thermocline. CLINE. Why this is called thermocline? Because temperature here abruptly decreases with every meter of depth. Okay. Then third layer is 1000 meters to ocean floor. 1000 meter to depth of ocean floor, which can be 5,000 meters. 1000 meters to depth of ocean floor. Here temperature of water is close to zero. Temperature of water is close to zero. Okay. So it means, say a guy is there. Say this guy name is Karnail Singh. What he is doing? Karnail Singh happens to fall in ocean. Okay. Now he is drowning. Say in this layer, he won't need anything, he won't feel cold. He will feel that the temperature which he experienced at surface of water is same. Suddenly when he reaches here, temperature की करता है, reduce होना शुरू होता है. ये भाई जी ठंड लगनी शुरू हो जाती है. ठीक है. When Karnail Singh is like Titanic at ocean floor, की हो गया Karnail Singh नू? कोई फर्क नहीं. Okay, write down next point. No. There is a exact layer. There is an exact layer of thermocline, after which temperature, which say this is lower range of thermocline, which is what? देखो कितनी लिखा है lower range? 1000 meter. So 1000 meter, after 1000 meter, water temperature is close to zero. It will remain close to zero till the ocean. No, no, no. In polar regions, there are no layers. Okay, but these layers are normally seen in tropical waters. Okay, in temperate waters, these layers are seen only in summers. Okay, polar regions do not have these layers. Yes, rise in temperature, but that is due to different regions. Okay, ozone zone बहुत कुछ होता बात करेंगे प्लीज. ठीक है, एक और लिखो अपना नेक्स्ट फैक्ट. अच्छा, where do we see highest temperature in ocean waters? Okay, say at equator, at north of it, at south of it, at north and south of it. What is the option? Equator, north of it, south of it, north, south of it. A, B, C, D. Four. North, south both. North वाले दसों कोई भी. Yes. What it means is that if a question comes to you, north south is not an option, because in southern hemisphere we see that there is a huge portion of water body, and when water intermixes with this water freely intermixes with equatorial water, temperature of equatorial water has come down in southern hemisphere. But because land is more here, the effect of land on ocean water is more. That's why equatorial region, in north of equatorial region, we see more temperature. Why not at equator then? Yes, got it. Because at equator what happens is that normally we see rainfall every day. Okay, that's why. ठीक है? हाँ जी. How ITCG? ITCG? No, ITCG also comes at Tropic of Capricorn. Say on 22nd December कितने होती है? Tropic of Capricorn on 22nd December. ITCG is at Tropic of Capricorn or Tropic of Cancer. That's why Australia, New Zealand, what they have in December, what they have, which season do they have? Summers. Okay. अच्छा, हुन एक ਆਪਾਂ ਹੋਰ देखना. There is 3 ways of transfer of heat. Okay, what are these? Conduction, convection, radiation. We know that in water bodies, temperature also travels, so to speak. Okay, so temperature also changes. Heat transfer takes place. Heat transfer takes place due to the Sokidali. दसो कोई गल नहीं. Convection. Why convection on? हाँ जी, दसो. नहीं आया ना, मैंने अजे इशारे समझ नहीं आया लगे. हाँ जी. In ocean. अर्शके भाई हैं. ओके, कंडक्शन भी आ गया. रेडिएशन भी आ गया. दसो प्लीज. कन्वेक्शन क्यों किया? कन्वेक्शन कोई गल नहीं, दस दो, पता लग जाता कोई नई चीज. नहीं चलो ठीक है, पानी उत्ते नीचे तो हो ही जाता है ना. बट ये तो नहीं है भी इतने वैक्यूम है. ठीक है, सो देयर इज सम कॉन्टैक्ट. देखो जी कन्वेक्शन है, कन्वेक्शन ऑलवेज हैपन्स when hot air rises above, or hot air, say containing water vapors, rises above. There is no contact whatsoever. In ocean temperature, what we see that the layers have contacts. When layers have contacts, what it means that where AC particle है जो अच्छा कार नंबर 1136 ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਲਓ okay so answer is conduction okay next topic is ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੇਡੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੋਗੀ यार मैंने एक गल दसो why do we always relate sunlight with radiation मैंने एक गल दसो say this is an iron utensil से पतीला है okay so this is an iron utensil what we have is sunlight falling over it now it gets hot so even if you do not touch the utensil you keep your hand at say 2 centimeter away from that utensil you still feel heat that is what that is radiation that is radiation okay मैंने एक गल दसो why does the earth हाँ देखो molecular level पे what you see is then obviously there is no vacuum then why do we say that convection is there convection should be totally absent because if air is rising above and there is no vacuum then it can happen that layer by layer heating is taking place so convection ਆਪਾਂ convection ਜਿਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੱਭੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ molecules level ਤੱਕ ਜਾਣਾ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਦੇਖੋ radiation the concept of radiation is that sunlight ਕੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ sunlight is low wavelength energy है ना पता है ना सब नु sunlight is short wavelength energy and terrestrial radiation is long wave okay so it does not mean that if sunlight is a source of energy it is also source of radiation earth can also be source of radiation terrestrial radiation that's why earth gets heated up that's why global greenhouse warming is there okay so radiation ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫੰਡਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ radiation ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ radiation ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ water ਕੀ ਹੈ if water is there say this is surface of water is getting heated up and we are say at the top of water not in any contact with water and we are still feeling ਵੀ water ਗਰਮ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਸੇਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ that is radiation okay ਸਮਝੋ ਇਹ ਮੈਟਲ ਹੈ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਟਲ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਨਲਾਈਟ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੂੰਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਾਂ ਸਨਲਾਈਟ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੂੰਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖੂ I will feel heat okay of this that is radiation so everything radiates ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੀ radiates depends on nature of matter ਹੁਣ ਵਾਟਰ 'ਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ obviously radiation won't be there so ਆਪਾਂ clear ਹੈ are we clear radiation is not an option ਹਾਂ conduction convection ਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ water ਕੀ ਹੈ water obviously does not rise above ਠੀਕ ਹੈ does not rise it ਜੇ ਸਮਝੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ this layer of water is at higher temperature this layer would get some heat from this upper layer would again say this is at 30 degree this is at 25 degree ठीक है it will get say 1 degree of temperature from here heat from here it will go 26 degree एक ही है एक conduction next लिखो salinity of ocean water yeah? ocean convection is look this is ocean does it happen that the bottom layer of ocean comes up right at the top due to some activity That is based on density. That is based on weight. That is not based on temperature. What you are saying is that downwelling happens due to conduction, due to convection. Sorry. हाँ दसो. The answer तुसी अपने आस पास का water means that they are in contact. If it happens, एक minute, please. If this happens, say I am at say I am at Atlantic Ocean and this is Pacific Ocean. If there exists a phenomenon in which temperature, say Atlantic Ocean, temperature is at higher level, and due to some phenomena which that these waters are not in contact, due to some temperature of Pacific Ocean is also getting heated up, is also increasing, then you can say obviously that convection is happening, some sort of, because these bodies are not in contact. But in water, always there is a contact. Sorry. Okay. So this is always in not in contact. So that's right here. Prevailing winds, what I've told you is that say this is land and this is water. Okay, the temperature of water near the land is higher than say temperature of water in the middle of ocean. Prevailing wind does is एक ही है water दी wave बना के उन्होंने center ते ले जाती है. If this wind blows from land to sea, that is the fact of prevailing winds. I have never said that prevailing wind temperature is higher than ocean water. That's why there is transfer fail. Yes, ਦੱਸो. वाटर का ट्रांसफर कि टेम्परेचर ट्रांसफर? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਮਿਲਿਓ ਪਲੀਜ਼. ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਗਹਿਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਨੇ. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂ. ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ. ਵਧੀਆ ਜਵਾਬ. ਨਾਈਸ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ. What he's saying is that upwelling and downwelling of water, can it be termed as conduction, convection, or radiation? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ. Why none of these? हाँ सॉरी ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ. ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਬਤਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. बिल्कुल सही गल है. हुण पर इहनूं हाँ तुसीं इहनूं कंडक्शन, what you'll name it, whether you'll name it conduction, convection के radiation, ये दसो. Temperature we know that. We know that factor is temperature. वो तो मैंने पता temperature when temperature transfer is taking place, whether that transfer is convection, conduction, or radiation. This is the question. Third point, वो करो, explain करो. Okay. So what you're saying is that, okay, just wait. What you're saying is that, say this is a medium, okay, and if this medium is not getting impacted whatsoever, then you are saying that convection happens. Okay? हाँ मैं वही कह रहा these are not layer. मैं की कह रहा है तुसी इन्हू चाहे वैक्यूम ले लो चाहे कोई स्टेट ऑफ मैटर ले लो. You are saying that ocean water is here, this is cold water, this is hot water. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. If this ocean water is not getting impacted by cold water and hot water, but still temperature is changing between cold and hot water, then I can agree that convection happens. But is it the case? आ गया ना समझ? दसो ठीक है. ओके, ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੇ ਕੁਝ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਲੇਬਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦੇਣਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ. ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਪਲੀਜ਼, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਸੈਲਿਨਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਓਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਵਾਟਰ ਲਿਖੋ. देखो total content of dissolved mineral salts in parts per thousand is called salinity of water. Okay, what do you mean by parts per thousand? It means that if 1 gram of salt, say sodium chloride, okay, is present in 1000 grams or 1 kg of water, then what we say is that it is, okay, 1 ppt, salinity is of 1 ppt. Okay, now what is the upper limit of defining salinity? Yeah, 24.7. So if we have salinity from 0, it means nothing of that sort, no sodium chloride or that matter any mineral salt is present in water. That water is known as fresh water. Okay, if this limit is 0 to 5 ppt, then it is known as fresh water. Okay, if the limit is from 5 to 24.7 ppt, then it is known as brackish water. Okay, if 24.7 ppt to say anything, okay, then the water is known as saline water. So if we say that oceans have salinity, it means that every ocean in the world has more salt than 24.7 pp. Okay, yeah. So question can come, brackish water is 5 ppt, greater than 5 ppt, between 5 ppt and 24.7. Answer is this, not greater than 5 ppt, because then it will be also saline water. Okay, because factors which influence salinity. First one is evaporation and precipitation. Achha, now a question is there. Due to evaporation of water, salinity increases, decreases, none, both. Okay, chalo. Next question. Due to precipitation of water, precipitation, not of water, precipitation, salinity of ocean water increases, decreases, both, none. Why it decreases? Okay. Okay. Next factor. First one is this. Next factor is influx of fresh water by rivers or by melting of ice. Rivers have fresh water, same melting of ice produces fresh water. So whenever there is melting of ice, salinity decreases. Whenever there is influx of water, salinity decreases. Okay. Third one is wind. Wind. Okay, wind system. What it does is wind system. Yes. Say this is ocean. Ocean current is transferred. Say this is Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea is enclosed sea, sort of enclosed sea. So Mediterranean Sea salinity is higher than corresponding waters, say than corresponding Atlantic Ocean. So if some wave or some current would pass from Mediterranean to say Atlantic Ocean, salinity would get dispersed. Okay, some of the salinity of Mediterranean Sea would get transferred to Atlantic Ocean due to prevailing wind system. That's how prevailing system influences salinity of water. Next one is ocean current. Fourth one is ocean current. पानी जाऊगा जी, सैलिनिटी जाऊगी. हाँ हाँ दसो की होगी. तो मैं उम्मीद नहीं कर रहा यार. अच्छा तुसी वो कर. हाँ नहीं, मेडिटेरियन सॉर्ट ऑफ इनक्लोज्ड है. मेडिटेरियन इज नॉट क्लोज्ड. ठीक है, नॉट क्लोज्ड. मेडिटेरियन की है, देयर इज स्ट्रेट ऑफ गिब्राल्टर. सो फ्रॉम स्ट्रेट ऑफ गिब्राल्टर की है थोड़ा बहुत पानी इधर उधर जा रहा है. तो ऑब्वियसली वाटर नाल सैलिनिटी मूव. Okay, now where we would find highest salinity? Equator, north, say at tropics, temperate, or at polar? Why? Equator te evaporation होती है तो with evaporation salinity increases. So at equator, if evaporation is more, that is compensated by amount of precipitation, because everyday rainfall is happening. So that's why if the question comes to you that maximum salinity is at tropics, equator, temperate, then answer is tropics. Okay. Then what about horizontal distribution? Horizontal, oh no, sorry, vertical distribution. Vertical distribution of vertical की है. What do you think? Water, say again, ठीक है, our guy Mr. Karnail Singh is here. He has jumped into ocean. ठीक है, he is drowning. Obviously, he is gulping some water. ठीक है, here he is finding that water is salty. Here he is finding that water is salty. Which water is more salty? Why नीचे वाला? जी? Density ज़्यादा था salty है. Okay. देखिए एक ही कह रहे हैं. What he is saying is that in surface water, when condensing is here, this surface water experiences evaporation as well as precipitation. ठीक है? So that's why this water is less salty. हम देखो answer is correct. The explanation is correct. Look, answer इन्होंने वैसे दे भी देता. Next point what he said is that water is denser here or here? नीचे. Why it is denser here? Yes. So it means that obviously we know that if water is denser, it will go down. ठीक है, मोटा बंदा थल्ली जाता है ना? ठीक है. अब that's why water here is denser. Water here is saltier than this. Okay, this is horizontal, vertical distribution of salinity of water. Okay, there is an एक लिखो. There is also a distinct layer in the water known as halocline, where salinity increases with decreasing depth. There is a distinct layer known as halocline in water. Distinct layer known as halocline in water, where salinity increases with depth. Okay. एक होल लिखो, there are two things, iso baths and then iso helines, whatever की है. Yes. So लिखो, iso helines are what? Lines joining places having same salinity. Okay. What is this? Isobaths. लाओ थोड़ा तुक्का बक्का लाओ. Isohelines. Isohelines are the places, are the line joining places having same salinity. What is isobaths? देखो सेम. अच्छा. ओहो. हाँ, yes. So isobaths is line joining places having same depth. Line joining places having same depth. Okay, next move. Depth of ocean. Say depth of land. Say this is ocean. If it is at 300 meters, the line joining this with this 300 meters would be isobath. Okay. Obviously, land won't have 300 meters. Land is at 0 meter upward. Okay. Then is motion of water. Next topic is motion of water. It has two component. First one is horizontal. Next one is vertical. What is horizontal motion of water? Waves, tides, currents. What is vertical motion of water? Tides. Do they have horizontal as well as vertical component, or do they only have vertical component? Both. So एक ये है sui generis. पढ़ाता हूँ ना जगपाल सर ने, है ना? Okay, write down about waves, water waves. अच्छा एक मिनट प्लीज आप थोड़ा ज्यादा बारे डिस्कस कर लिए, तुम बार बार आना एम्पलीट्यूड. व्हाट इज एम्पलीट्यूड? अच्छा रुको रुको. व्हाट इज क्रेस्ट? व्हाट इज ट्रफ? है नहीं, एक ही है. हैं? एक क्रेस्ट है. दिस इज क्रेस्ट. फिर ए नहीं है वो. ओके, दिस इज ट्रफ. व्हाट इज वेवलेंथ? ओके, ठीक है. टू डेफिनेशन एक की है, वन क्रेस्ट टू दिस क्रेस्ट, और वी कैन से टोटल वेव. दिस इज वेवलेंथ. व्हाट इज एम्पलीट्यूड? दिस इज पीक. एम्पलीट्यूड है, आ गई है. हाँ जी. ओके, दिस इज की है, दिस इज एम्पलीट्यूड. ओके, और की फ्रीक्वेंसी. फ्रीक्वेंसी बस यही है. फ्रीक्वेंसी की है, सॉरी एक ही है, सॉरी. शाना है, शानापन. दसो की है. चलो फ्रीक्वेंसी ते आ जाने, फिर भाई जी कहते नहीं पता फ्रीक्वेंसी की है। ओके चलो ठीक है, ठीक है अपना करो ਇਹਦਾ शुरू फिर अपना वेव बारे लिख। अच्छा दिस इज की है वेव, हाँ हाइट, वेव हाइट है, ठीक है दिस इज वेव हाइट। सो हाफ ऑफ वेव हाइट इज एम्पलीट्यूड। देखो waves travel because wind pushes the water, wind pushes the water and gravity pulls the wave downwards. So the question आ गया that motion of wave is because of winds, because of gravity, both, none, both. Remember a question आया सी, I think in this year paper, tides occur because of gravitation, because of centrifugal force, none, both. चलो आप बात करते हैं फिर, मैंने बड़े होरे तरह के लुक्स मिले हैं, अब बात करते हैं। देखो when depth of water is less than, when depth of water is less than half the wavelength of the wave, half the wavelength of the wave, wave breaks. When the depth of water is less than half the wavelength of the wave, wave breaks. It means here this is wavelength, okay, say this is 10 centimeter, okay. If the depth of the water here is less than 5 centimeter, this wave won't be able to travel. अच्छा एक मैनू गल दसो, there is something known as wave shoaling. What is it? अच्छा चलो होर आप पिछले look, समझो there is a tsunami and again our guy Karnail Singh is in middle of Atlantic Ocean on Sargasso Sea. Obviously he is not standing on the water, he is in some sort of ship, ठीक है. ਹੁਣ there would he feel the effect of tsunami right in the middle of ocean? Why? She has explained, but ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੋਰ technical terminology ਚ ਕੀ ਲਿਖਾਂਗੇ? The amplitude of the wave in the middle of ocean experienced by our guy is very low. Wave length is high. Wave length is high. This one. Wave length is high, amplitude is low. So if Mr. Karnail Singh's ship is here, so it means that he won't be having any problem in dealing with the wave because the amplitude is low. What happens? What is wave shoaling in tsunami? What it happens is that when this, obviously the tsunami is traveling towards land, it will encounter continental slope and then continental shelf. Depth would be reducing. So to compensate this effect in which wavelength won't be able to travel because of the depth of the water reducing, the amplitude of the wave rises. And because of this effect is known as wave shoaling, and that is how tsunami becomes dangerous. Okay, so the same concept is here. Amplitude increase ho janda hai whenever half the wavelength or the depth of the water decreases to half the wavelength of the wave. Okay, simple. एक हो लिखो motion of water beneath the wave is circular. Motion of water beneath the wave is circular. देखो basically what it is that in wave water does not travel. Basically waves pass the energy and then water की है water बस shape लंदा. But in between की है, say this is water rises and then comes back here. Water does not go there. So the actual motion of water beneath the wave is circular. Okay. Okay, next one is tides. Is there? Yeah, no transfer. Water does not transfer in movements of waves. Okay, next topic is tides. Okay, why do tides happen? Why do tides occur? Okay, something sun की है. सूर्यदेव कौन? अच्छा, और then इन्हां दी gravitation. Okay, so if this is earth, this is a ocean. वैसे ऊपर नहीं होता, चलो आप करा दें ocean. ठीक है, this is moon and this is sun. So both of them की करते हैं, they attract water. ठीक है, water level rises. और that's it. Earth what? Earth gravity. Earth gravity is basically centripetal or centrifugal. चलो आप बात आने हैं. पहले मैंने दोस्तों centrifugal force is the another force which is responsible for tides. Centrifugal force की है. Okay, when we were in class 6th 7th or 8th, साडी टीचर सीगी से मिसेस सरिता. ठीक है, मिस सरिता told us that centripetal force is what? When somebody is getting pulled towards the center of a circle. ठीक है, centripetal. She also told us that centrifugal force is when in circular motion a thing want to get rid of this stupid circular motion. That thing wants to follow straight path क्योंकि वो सीधी सादी बंदी है. ठीक है, this is centrifugal force. Okay, अच्छा सैटेलाइट केड़ी फोर्स नाल हो रहंदी है in orbit? Centripetal. Okay, centripetal force is the reason, that's why जेडी सैटेलाइट है remains in orbit. ਹੁਣ why centrifugal? Why tidal waves are dependent on centrifugal forces? Look, देखो, समझो this is earth. Okay, here moon, ਆਪਾਂ moon ਲੈਂਦੇ हैं because the gravitational pull of moon is more than twice of sun. Okay, it is 2.2 times that of sun. So if there is sun here, sun is pulling the water on the earth by some 1 unit, then moon will pull it by 2.2 unit. Okay, it is, so moon gravitational force is twice that of sun. Now look, if say this is ocean, now the ocean is getting pulled towards moon. Okay, this will be the position. Now this water, because earth is rotating, okay, because earth is rotating, this water will be rotating as well. And if some water is getting pushed to here, some water due to centrifugal force, it means the density of an object when in circular motion to travel in straight path. That's why some tides would be made on the opposite side as well due to centrifugal force. This is known as impact of centrifugal force on tides. अच्छा एक मिनट होर गल दसो, sorry. This is known as high tide. This is known as high tide as well. Where does low tide happen? This. This is low tide. Obviously, water content or the quantity of water is equal, same. So if some water is pulled towards moon, it's not like nama water paida ho raha dharti de. So at some level, this rise of water level would have to be compensated. So it gets compensated on in this area. Okay? That's why we normally see semi-diurnal tides. What are semi-diurnal tides? 4 times. 2 high tides, 2 low tides. Okay? What we see is, say this is moon and this is earth. What happens is, if this area of earth is facing moon, okay, then the tidal in this area would be high, the tide in this area would be high tide or low tide? High tide. The tide in this area would be high tide or low tide? Okay, so we have 2 high tides. In the same way, the water is compensated from here. So this would be low tide. So then there are 2 low tides as well. So normally what happens is we see semi-diurnal tides because of this. Okay? Rotation of earth the effect है ना? Say if earth would have been stationary, okay, this is axis of earth and this is moon, then only this area would be having high tide or this area would be having high tide. That's it. Okay? Point is, when the earth rotates in an area, say you are living in Mumbai, okay, if Mumbai would have been here, you would always experience high tide. But because in Bombay you also see low tide. Why it happens? Because then Bombay rotates to here. Oh, sorry, Bombay rotates to here. My bad. Bombay rotates to here. That's why Bombay is now in low tide area. When Bombay comes here, then it becomes again in high tide area. Yes. It adds. It adds. It is the reason the centrifugal force exists. In a day. Earth की rotation कितनी दिन च complete कर दी है? 30 दिनों च नहीं ना कर दी. Okay, tide लिखो. Tides थोड़ी अपन लिख भी दीजिए. Periodic rise and fall of sea level once or twice a day, due to attraction of sun and moon, and effect of centrifugal force of earth rotation, is called tide. We have discussed that in normal scenario, only semi-diurnal tides should be there. Okay? But we also have what? Diurnal tides. We also have somewhat mixed tides. Then why do they happen? Sorry, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੱਲ ਠੀਕ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਛੇਤੀਆਂ ਕਰਤਾ. ਦੱਸ ਦੋ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਸੀ? ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ. Okay. Moon and sun the relation location. Do we have neap tides or spring tides due to this or this one? Or both? So neap tides and spring tides are due to position of or changing position of moon and sun. These are not. Remember it. ठीक है, these are not. Diurnal and mixed tide कुछ और चीज है, और चीज दसो। दोस्तों बहुत जाने इतने मेरे साथ बैठे हैं जिन्होंने ज्योग्राफी कर ली, एक्सप्लेन करो ना थोड़ा जो। वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस। समझे? व्हाट ही सेइंग इज दैट से इफ दिस इज अर्थ एंड बॉम्बे इज एन आइलैंड, ठीक है, which I think it is, तो चलो कोई गल नहीं, still वो इंडिया दे नाल ही है, ठीक है। Bombay is an island, only island on the earth, let us put it that way, ठीक है। Bombay is an only island, ठीक है। Again our guy Mr. Karnail Singh is there. ਹੁਣ Mr. Karnail Singh is experiencing 2 times high tides and 2 times low tides. He is very happy, ठीक है। He is now indoctrinated that tides always happen 4 times a day, low or high tides twice. Suddenly, Karnail Singh encounters a ship. He goes to a place called New York. Okay? Here he sees rather that land is not always island. Okay? Or land is not always small as his island. Let us put it that way. Okay? Land can also be big. Hun ki hoya? Okay? He is sitting here. He is only seeing one high tide and one low tide. की हो गया भाई दे फंडे हिल गए, कुछ पता नहीं मैं कितने आ गया। देखो की रीजन है, रीजन इज दिस, से इफ दिस आइलैंड ऑफ मिस्टर करनैल सिंह is the only island and this whole space, इन्होंने थोड़ा 3D विजुलाइज करो, this is कुछ गोल जा है अपने को, कड़ा फिर 2D है ना, हमें स्फीयर चाहिए, पढ़िए मैं लगता ग्लोब लेके ही आना पैना, मैं पहले हसदा सीगा हैं, प्लीज लेके आओ जी भाई, तुसी ले जाओ प्लीज, करो थोड़ी हिल जो, समझ आ रहा है ना प्लीज, हैं आ रहे सारे समझ नहीं है? अच्छा चलो आई दादा, मारो मारो मारो, यार अभी टूटिया हुआ है, बहुत बहुत गरीबी है। Okay, say this is sphere, okay, and here is island of मैनू उम्मीद जागी बॉल लेके आऊगी, चलो look, okay, say this is island of Mr. Karnail Singh, okay, now consider this, that the latitude at which this island is situated, okay, there is no landmass at this latitude, okay, because this is southwards of the center of this sphere, okay, we'll say that the island lies at say 20 degrees south, okay, so on 20 degrees south latitude there is no island whatsoever. Now in this scenario this island will experience semi-diurnal tide, but say this is the island, here there is a landmass, here there is a landmass, and there is landmass here, okay, now इन्हों आप थोड़ा जा ना अपना विजुलाइज करो, say this is moon, ठीक है, वाटर की है तो अट्रैक्ट हो रहा है, ठीक है, वाटर खुला घूम रहा है। अर्थ रोटेट्स फ्रॉम ईस्ट टू वेस्ट और वेस्ट टू ईस्ट, वेस्ट टू ईस्ट, सो अर्थ इज रोटेटिंग फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट, दिस इज अर्थ रोटेटिंग, ठीक है, मून अट्रैक्ट हो रहा है, कर रहा है, ठीक है। ਇੱਕੋਦਮ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟਾਈਡ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਟਾਈਡ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਰੁਕੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਅਗੇਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਰੁਕੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਦੈਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਈਲੈਂਡ ਆ ਗਈ, ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਰੁਕੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਡਿਊ ਟੂ ਦ ਨੇਚਰ ਆਫ ਦ ਲੈਂਡ ਮਾਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਟਾਈਡ ਚੇਂजेस, tide would not remain diurnal, semi diurnal, here tide would be okay. So here due to various landform and the impediment, the hindrance provided by this landmass, due to that waves won't be semi diurnal, wave would be mixed and wave would be diurnal, okay, that's why this is the reason. If the question comes ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ, due to hindrance of land masses, that's why in northern hemisphere what we see is that in Gulf of Mexico we only have diurnal tide, okay, diurnal tide, sometimes we see we have mixed tide, okay, this is the reason. ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਹੁਣ then ਹਾਂਜੀ Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Mexico has only diurnal tides, means one high tide and one low tide per day, okay. Then there is another factor on which tides are dependent, that factor is moon as well as sun, okay. Now look, a moon, a lunar month is called this one sidereal, this is of say 27 days, okay. This is earth, this is sun, and the moon is having revolution around the earth, okay. If the moon is here, what it is called, new moon, full moon, quarter moon, crescent, new moon. In new moon do you see sun? Oh, do you see moon? No, okay. Why? Because only this part of moon is getting illuminated by sun, and earth only see one side of moon, that's why this side remains unilluminated, unbrightened, it means kiya hai, so we do not see the moon, that's why this is called new moon. Who now moon, why do we only see one side of moon? Not speed, ठीक है, okay, got it. देखो reason की है, the reason why we only see one side of moon is that the time taken by moon to rotate, mind the word rotate on its axis, and the time taken by moon to revolve around the earth is same, okay. What happens is, let's say this, here it is written art line 500, okay. Now art line 500 is here and it has revolved around me here. Now it has completed what, 360 or 180 degree? 180 degree, but still I can see art line. Why? Because this speed, this revolution time is same as its rotation time. So when it covers 180 degree, I will still see art line. Okay, then ki hai, same way it covers another 180 degree, means now it is at the same position from where it has started, and I can still see art line 500. It means ki hai sanu sirf ek side hi dikh rahi hai. This is the reason. Okay, hun ki hai, now if the moon is on this side, it is called new moon, and if look, we are not necessarily drawing sun and moon and earth in a straight line. It can happen, look at in 3D, say earth is here, moon is here, and sun is here, but still for a 2D, from 2D perspective, they will see, they will be in the straight line. Okay, if I am seeing from here, they'll be in the straight line. Okay, so this is the reason, because otherwise if they are in perfect straight line, then that would be an eclipse. Okay, so here it is a new moon day. Here when the moon comes here means after revolution, after revolving around the earth, it comes here. This is known as full moon day. Okay, then the another one. ठीक है, कोई भी अपना quarter हो जाता है, crescent बन जाता है, ठीक है, half crescent whatever. Now the reason is why we have spring tides. ठीक है, spring tide is, say if moon is here, sun is here, what we'll have is that this side of earth will be having spring tide. Okay, because there is an accumulated gravity, there is an accumulated gravitational pull of sun and moon combining on this area. In same way, as this high tide would be compensated by centrifugal force of the earth, so spring tide will be witnessed on the other side of the earth as well. Okay? And low tides will be here as well. So spring tide, in spring tide times, especially on a new moon and full moon day, we see abnormally high spring tides and abnormally low tides. Got it? Okay? And the next is neap tide. What is a neap tide? Okay. ਹੁਣ neap tide ਕੀ ਹੈ ਦੇਖੋ, ਹੁਣ I have told you that a lunar month is of 28 days, say 28 days कह दीजिए, divide by 4 हो जाएगा, ठीक है, 28 days. So after 7 days what happen? Moon will complete 1/4 of its journey, ठीक है, moon will be here. That is known as quarter moon. Quarter moon क्यों है? क्योंकि sun ਦੀ light ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਊਗੀ? ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਪਊਗੀ ਤੇ earth ਨੂੰ enable ਹੋਊਗਾ, quarter moon ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, quarter moon. And because then this tide will be experienced here, obviously the intensity of this tide will be greater than this side. Okay, and tide will be experienced here as well. These tides are known as neap tides. हाँ जी, repeat कर दो. Neap tide. Okay, neap tide is that, say this is a new moon, okay, and this is full moon. Lunar month is of 28 days. After 7 days, sun will complete 1/4 of his journey. Moon will complete 1/4 of his journey. Moon will be here. Then obviously moon will exert gravitational pull on the ocean surface of earth. Tides will happen. Same way, sun will be pulling the ocean water in its direction, and these tides are known as neap tides. Okay, then here, what is perigee and apogee? Okay, perigee is what? Perigee is when moon is closest to the earth. Look here, this is sun and this is moon. Moon travels in sort of elliptical path, okay, this way, the elliptical path. When the moon is closest to the earth, it is known as perigee, and when it is farthest from the earth, it is known as apogee. So obviously when moon is at its perigee position, tides would be higher or lower? Higher. The intensity of tides will be higher. Then there is another phenomenon known as perihelion and aphelion. What is perihelion? Yeah. So in the same way, earth also revolved elliptically around the sun. Okay? When earth will be at the closest position from sun, that is known as perihelion. When does it happen? Third Jan. Okay? 3rd Jan perihelion, and aphelion 4th July. So aphelion means earth is here at the farthest point. Obviously the effect of sun's gravitational pull will be maximum at perihelion, so we will experience abnormally high tide and low tide on 3rd of Jan. Got it? ठीक है, ਹੁਣ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਲਾਸਟ ओशियन करंट. देखो regular volume of water flowing in definite path and direction. Path and direction is called ocean current. Okay. What we have seen is that if say this is European and African landmass, this is North America and South America. What we have seen is this is equator, that water normally revolves this direction and this direction. Okay, basically एक ही है, these are ocean currents. We'll come afterwards, we'll discuss afterwards why this happened. Okay, पहला तो ये visualize कर लो, this sort of thing happens if you do not know. Okay, then लिखो factors which influence ocean currents. Firstly, heating by sun. Heating by sun. How it influences ocean currents? Say, we know that insolation of sun is maximum at equator. Okay, when water experiences higher temperature, okay, when anything experiences higher temperature, does it expand or shrink? Expand. Okay, so water at the equator expands. Okay, expands means water molecules have higher distances at equator than say polar water. Okay, so a natural gradient is created. जे आप इत्थे इन्हू 3D च देखते हैं, a natural gradient is created. Say this is equator where water expands and this is polar water. Okay, a natural gradient is created, a natural slope is created so that water travels from equator to pole. Okay, that is the influence of solar insolation, solar energy. Second likho. Second one is wind. Wind, as we all know, ਆਪਾਂ बाहर discuss करेंगे, ठीक है? How wind influences ocean currents. Third one is gravity. Gravity always pushes water downwards, ठीक है? Helps in creating gradients. The next one is Coriolis force. Coriolis force. Who does not know this force? चलो आप एग्जांपल से शुरू करते हैं. I think it is best way to explain Coriolis force. Okay, say you are standing on a merry-go-round. What is merry-go-round? झूले ते बैठे हो तुसी, ठीक है? जेड़ा झूला ऐ घूम रहा है. ओके, ਹੁਣ ਸਮਝੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ? This way ਕਰਨੈਲ ਸਿੰਘ and ਜਰਨੈਲ ਸਿੰਘ, his brother, not brother है, मेरे फंडे गलत होए ने, ठीक है? करनैल सिंह and जरनैल सिंह are sitting diametrically or polar opposite, diametrically, ठीक है? Polar opposite. Now say this circle or merry-go-round is rotating anti-clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise or clockwise, whatever, मतलब घूम रहा है एक जगह, ठीक है? एक को दिस डायरेक्शन. Now what happen is if this guy Jarnail Singh throws a ball at Karnail Singh, ठीक है? जे ने सीधा मारने की कोशिश की है, सीधी मारने दी in a straight line like this, ठीक है? But Karnail Singh eventual position when this ball arrives to or would arrive to him would change. He would be here, so the ball would miss him. What happen is as we see as the guys who played cricket, जो तुसी move करते हो ताकि ये when you are moving this way and wickets are like this, you tend to throw ball on the leftward side if you're moving on the right direction. Same way, when you're moving on the left direction, wickets are there, you tend to throw ball on the right side of the wicket. Okay, same way what happens is, if this guy, Mr. Jarnail Singh, would throw the ball somewhat on the right hand side of Jarnail Singh, say if this is the case, he will throw this way. Jarnail Singh is this, he will throw this way. Okay, eventually what eventual position of Jarnail Singh would be here, he would be able to catch it. That is what apparent, that is known as Coriolis force. Same way, earth is rotating. So this is earth. Earth is rotating from west to east. Okay, so everything, if the thing is, something is blowing in this direction, this will exert, or this wind will be exerted by a force which will ਇਹਦੀ direction change ਕਰੂਗੀ। ਹਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਿਹੜੀ direction। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, now it's a thumb rule, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਮਝਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਨਹੀਂ, ਆਪਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇਹ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਹੈ ਨਰਦਰਨ ਹੈਮੀਸਫੇਅਰ ਚ ਕੋਰਿਓਲਿਸ ਫੋਰਸ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ? ਸੇ ਇਫ ਵਿੰਡ ਇਜ਼ ਮੂਵਿੰਗ ਫਰੋਮ, ਸੇ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਟ੍ਰੋਪਿਕ ਆਫ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਇਕੁਏਟਰ, ਇਫ wind is moving from tropic of cancer to equator, which happens as we see in northeast trade winds, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, if wind is moving direction ਕੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ? ਰਾਈਟ ਹੈਂਡ ਸਾਈਡ ਨੂੰ ਮੂਵ ਹੋ ਜੂਗੀ। ਕਿਉਂ ਮੂਵ ਹੋਊਗੀ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ there is apparent force exerted by earth rotation। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਪਲੀਜ਼, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਬਾਕੀ YouTube ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ, ਮੈਂ ਵਿਜ਼ੂਅਲਾਈਜ਼ ਬੰਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਬਸ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਆਪਾਂ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਲਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਆਇਆ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, this is known as Coriolis force। obviously ਕਿ when this exert Coriolis force exert force on wind, it will also exert some sort of force on water। okay, that's why ocean currents are influenced by Coriolis force। okay, ਹੁਣ ਲਿਖੋ types of ocean currents। ਕਿਵੇਂ? ਹਾਂ, ਡੈਂਸਿਟੀ ਕੀ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਗੁੱਡ ਦੱਸੋ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚ ਹੀ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਜੀ। look, types of ocean current, first one is key surface water and deep water। surface water, so ocean does not flow in horizontal direction, it also flows in vertical direction, and that is known as upwelling and downwelling। okay, then ਇਹਦੀ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ? surface current and deep current। okay, then the second one is hot current and cold current। ਓਕੇ, ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਮਝਿਓ, ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਤੇ 2 ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ। what I've said is that a surface and deep water is in regular contact with what is known as downwelling and upwelling। this is how some current of ocean moves। okay, that is known as surface current and deep water current। if it is moving from deep to surface, it is known as deep current। from surface to deep means downwelling, then it is known as surface current। this is equator, this is North America, South America, this is India, this is Australia। हाँ जी, ओ हाँ सॉरी, ਚਲੋ ਯਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਓ ਪਲੀਜ਼, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੱਲ ਤੋਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਐਟਲਸ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਕਰੋ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਇਹੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਮਝ ਹੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਓਕੇ, ਨਾਓ what happens is that normally in northern hemisphere water moves ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੋਂ, ਹਾਂ, clockwise. So it means that something of this sort is happening. Okay, ocean currents from this direction revolves or more or less moves around in clockwise direction. Same way in southern hemisphere what we see is anti-clockwise. Okay, people who have been to Australia would have seen that water in sink rotates puttha from what it does in India. ਸਮਝ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਦੇਖੋ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਸਮਝੋ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੇਸਿਨ ਤੇ ਹੱਥ ਧੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਹਾਊ ਡਜ਼ ਵਾਟਰ ਮੂਵ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਲੋ ਅੱਜ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ, ਹੱਥ ਧੋ ਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਵਾਟਰ ਮੂਵਸ this direction, oh sorry my clockwise direction, ठीक है, clockwise, that is what we see always, that is what we see in northern hemisphere, ठीक है, you happen to go to Sydney, ठीक है, or Auckland or maybe Cape Town, ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ, water will move anti clockwise. Okay, so एक क्या है, this is anti clockwise first, that is direction. Now the water in this area would be warmer than this area. Okay, so the water coming from this area would be known as warm and water which is coming from this area would be known as cold current. Okay, same way water coming from this area would be warm and water coming from this area would be cold. Okay, now remember, चलो बात ठीक है, हुन की है, if the water is coming from, say this is Arab world, ठीक है, do we consider North Africa as Arab world? What do people of Morocco speak? Which language do they speak? Portuguese. माली करते तुसी मुझे ऐसा नहीं, मुझे लगता माझी बोल रहे हो। अच्छा, अरब वर्ल्ड की है, नॉर्थ अफ्रीका is in Arab world. Yeah, Arabic is very widely spoken language. So की है, this area can be termed as say Arabic कह लो, ठीक है, हुन की है, this area is warmer than this, so any ocean current originating from this area would be warm, ठीक है, same way की है, जदों when it will rotate clockwise it will also have some warming effect on these areas as well, ठीक है, then की है, एक clockwise चले जाती है, clockwise ਇਹਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੇ warm ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹਜੇ, ठीक है, it still is warm current, so ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ climate ਨੂੰ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਂਦਾ, ठीक है, this is how warm current travels, and when it comes here water is added, some water is added from up, ठीक है, it turns into cold current, ठीक है, same way this happens here, ठीक है, a notorious Humboldt current known as Peru current, ठीक है, वो भी किया हो, that is a cold current, ठीक है, why this current is infamous or famous? El Nino, ठीक है, सबने पता है, ठीक है, अखबारां ने मजा ही खत्म करता, उन्होंने पीसीएस भी दिता, पीसीएस में है ना, पीसीएस वी वर आस्क्ड अबाउट एल नीनो, ला नीना, हाँ, and I was bored of writing about it, bored, literally bored, मर के लिखे ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ, ठीक है, so की है, cold current, this Peru current is also cold current because some water is added from here, then in this direction water की है हो in this way move ਹੁੰਦਾ okay ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਹੈ there is a proper name of every current ठीक है I don't know how to provide you that should I make you write or do everybody of you are you having NCRTs or GC Leong okay if you do not have NCRTs GC Leong is not necessary per se but please have NCRTs of geography they are like your Bible ਬਾਈਬਲ ਹੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਲੋਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਤੇ ਮਾਰ ਮੁਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਓ ਓਕੇ that is your Bible read it ਠੀਕ ਹੈ worship it ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੱਟਣਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ in that you will have complete map of ocean currents ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ask me in the next day ਪਰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ if somebody from you is not inclined to buy it you can download it ठीक है these are ocean currents okay ਹੁਣ now ਇੱਕ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਲਿਖੋ okay I'll ask you a question I think most of you will be well versed with it question cold current occurs or cold currents occur at A western coast always B eastern coast always C depends on latitude D none of the above ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ A ਵਾਲੇ ਸੱਜਣ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਹੱਥ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮਝਾਓ okay what he's saying is that cold currents always occur on the western margins of the continent okay and it is true irrespective of the latitude ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ somebody else none of the above kyun how does it depends on latitude ठीक है एक की है साडा say this is North America and here exists Massey country of us Canada ठीक है from here some sort of Labrador ठीक है Labrador current comes that is a cold current okay and here say this is Scandinavian countries from here also a cold current comes ठीक है ਹੁਣ say you are living on New Brunswick you are living on the northern eastern coast of Canada ठीक है will you experience hot current or cold current remember by the same analogy that cold current always occur at western margins so on the eastern northern front of Canada you will always encounter hot current समझ आ रहे हैं ना by the same analogy ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ western margin what happen is we always have cold current so in eastern margin we would have hot current but what happens here is ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ cold current remember ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ UPSC ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਦੇਖਦਾ it happens especially for first timers ਉਹ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਟਰ ਫਿਰ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਵੀਰੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ फिर कोई वीर ही तो झटका दिंदा, फिर उस रात की रोटी नहीं लंघदी। ठीक है, ये पंगे पैने आप। सो प्लीज की है, क्वेश्चन आर नेवर सिंपल इन यूपीएससी। ये देखो तुसीं ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲੱਭੇ ਹੀ ਕਰੋ। ठीक है, you have to search for these exceptions, but remember do not forget to do this thing first of all, okay? कई बार की ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ exceptions ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, normal ਚੀਜ਼। ठीक है, so search for exceptions, but remember always cram these things and search for exceptions and beware, be doubly की है, doubly read the question। ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ? हाँ, फिर यही तो है, और क्या ਹੁੰਦਾ? Depends on latitude, depends on latitude, okay? So it does not mean that always western coast of continent will encounter cold current। see, हाँ, depends on latitude, yes, it depends on latitude। ठीक है, so at the higher latitude we also see cold current on eastern margins as well, okay? एक लिखो last one, effect of currents। ठीक है, on east coast of continents, ocean currents provide rainfall, and help in having moderate climate। next देखो, whenever there is mixing of hot and cold currents, समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि मैं की लिखा, तुसी ब्रैकेट च लिखो बेस्ट फिशिंग ग्राउंड्स। whenever there is intermixing of cold and cold and hot current, best fishing grounds are there। sorry, coral reefs, हाँ yes, ਇਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਫੰਡਾ ਬਾਅਦ ਡਿਸਕਸ। ਦੇਖੋ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਾਰਬਨ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਲੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ठीक है, carbon sequestration, what is carbon sequestration? It is basically sinking of carbon with downwelling of water। why downwelling? Because when water gets cold, ki hunda, carbon dioxide dissolved is the quantity of dissolved carbon dioxide increases। ठीक है, as we have seen, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਕ ਨੂੰ room temperature ਤੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦੀ ਫਿਜ਼ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ? ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। so it means ਕੀ ਹੈ, dissolved gases at room temperature ਕੀ ਹੈ, evaporate, but same drink when kept in cold temperature ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉਹਦਾ fizz remains। okay, same way ਕੀ ਹੈ, when downwelling, why does downwelling happen? Because water is cold, ठीक है, and denser, so carbon also sequesters deep inside the ocean water। same way when upwelling happens, with upwelling carbon is also comes up the surface of ocean, and it also here it goes into atmosphere। so whenever deep carbon comes on the surface of ocean, we know that carbon helps in carbon is a nutrient basically, है ना? carbon is a nutrient, so the fishes as well as seaweeds as well as phytoplanktons would be maximum wherever carbon is coming upwelling zone। ठीक है, so that's why they are, whenever intermixing of cold and hot current is there, best fishing grounds are there। but देखो coral reef की है, but a coral reefs, they are animal, corals are animals basically। ठीक है, they need की ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਕੀ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, zooxanthellae, ਪਤਾ ਕੁਛ? ਪਤਾ ਨਾ, zooxanthellae is what? blue green algae। Blue-green algae is capable of photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, do we need carbon dioxide? We need carbon dioxide. It means that if zooxanthellae provides coral with food and you are providing zooxanthellae with carbon dioxide, then obviously quantity of corals will increase. Yeah. Huh? Coral reefs are what? Basically, coral reefs are dead corals. Whenever quantity of corals will increase, obviously, coral reefs would be built when same corals will be dead. Zooxanthellae, when it encounters enough of carbon dioxide, photosynthesis increases. In same way, jada apna coral reef, coral animal hunda hai, coral would get enough food from zooxanthellae. So when it will get enough food, it will multiply more. When it will multiply more, it means it will not die more, but say more corals are there than if they are dead. Corals are made, coral reefs are made. Basically, coral reefs are what? Calcium carbonate, है ना? Calcium carbonate remains of corals. That's why coral reefs would be there wherever there is upwelling. ठीक है? हुन्ना please क्यों नहीं? How coral reefs are? यार फिर रिपीट कराऊंगे मैं हुन की बोल रहा सी ओके what happens is 2 मिनट प्लीज ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹੋਣੇ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ corals are animals and it lives in symbiotic relationship with a blue green algae zooxanthellae ठीक है zooxanthellae is a blue green algae which is capable of photosynthesis and we need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis so whenever there is upwelling means that when cold current okay and hot current are intermixing okay it means that there would be intermixing means there would be some vertical intermixing as well so in when these देखो की है they always intermix in the middle latitudes so it depends on whenever the temperature is high in middle latitudes the carbon will come above because carbon dioxide as we know that fizz of Coca-Cola escape when there is higher temperature so same way if temperature is high upwelling of carbon dioxide will be there and carbon dioxide is food for zooxanthellae same way zooxanthellae provide food for corals so same way corals would multiply when they'll multiply their quantity would be great when the quantity will be great they'll die in great numbers when they'll die in great numbers it means coral reefs will be made okay chalo okay bas ठीक है we'll meet on Monday we'll do climatology okay हाँ बोले अच्छा पॉलिटी हाँ गुरु दक्षिणा दो जी तुसी साडी बड़ी करनी सी राशन की देनी है सानू दो चलो ठीक है हां आप जी मैं ले लूंगा दो दिन बंदे होते टुकड़ी जो मैं ना कोई गल ठीक है व्हेनेवर यू से ओके
मुझे अभी तक ये समझ में नहीं आया था दिस थिंग अपवेलिंग एंड डाउनवेलिंग वाला एक बार थोड़ा डिटेल में समझाइए
यस यस
सॉरी यू कैन यूज द पेज फ्रॉम हियर आल्सो
एक डाउट सर
हां जी
जो कोरल लीफ कह रहे हो इधर तो टेम्परेट एरिया में कोरल लीफ मिलेंगे सर
हां हां यस हां यस coral reefs are present in polar areas as well हाँ coral reefs सब किते ਹੁੰਦੇ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਫਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਸੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ
हाँ ਵਧੀਆ different ਗੱਲ है but they are present everywhere great you are confusing what I've said is that whenever there is intermixing of cold current and hot current coral reefs are there but that is not the necessary condition of coral reefs there are other conditions as well. Great Barrier Reef की है. Great Barrier Reef is not because of intermixing of cold and hot current. है ना? Okay, your continental shelf हो. Continental shelf, sunlight is more, phytoplanktons are more, ठीक है, corals are more, obvious, everything is more, they die more obviously. ठीक है, वो मान लो. So that is not a necessary condition. What I'm saying is that whenever there is intermixing of cold current and hot current, possibility of coral reefs are there. Coral reefs are there. I have never said this is. हाँ जी.